are you doing in my swamp? What are you doing in my swamp?
Hello everybody, this is Overboy, and I'm going to be doing my review for the 2014 movie Dumb and Dumber 2. This was the long-anticipated sequel to the classic movie Dumb and Dumber. It was once again written by the Farrelly brothers and directed by Peter Farrelly, and this one follows Harry and Lloyd going on a road trip to find Harry's long-lost daughter and stuff so that he can get a new kidney. I really like this movie quite a bit. I know a lot of people didn't. It wasn't like it did decent in the box office, but it wasn't like one that a lot of people really liked. The critics hated it, but they didn't really like the first one that much either. So I mean, what do you expect? With comedy movies, it's very hard to impress critics anyway. But I thought that this one was good. It's not as good as the first movie, but it was a lot better than I expected. I went in there expecting it to probably not be very good, because comedy sequels most of the time are not as good as the originals, with few exceptions. Like Kick-Ass 2 was disappointing to me, and Grown Ups 2 disappointed me, which I know the first movie isn't like anything special, but I just really had a lot of fun with it. And I was really disappointed in the second one of that one, and Anchorman 2 disappointed me. And there are other comedy sequels, but I think this is one of the better ones. I think this one is pretty entertaining. That Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels are both hilarious in this movie again. Although I think that they tried to give Jim Carrey the best of the jokes and stuff, because I guess probably because he was a lot harder to convince to come back for it, so they probably gave him a lot of the better jokes and everything. And that's the one thing about this movie that I really liked the first one a lot better on, is that the first movie, both Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels were got the equal amount of good jokes and stuff and everything. In this movie, you could tell they were trying to give most of the best jokes to Jim Carrey, but I still thought that Jeff Daniels was funny, though, don't get me wrong. And it does have a lot of stuff that, they reference from the original movie, which is another thing that comedy sequels are known for, is, trying to rehash some of the jokes from previous movies, and most of the time they're not as funny, but there are some in here that, little nods and stuff, that are still kind of funny. And I just think this movie is a lot better than it could have been. The supporting cast in here is all great. Kathleen Turner plays Freda Felcher, who was mentioned in the first movie, and she does have a cameo appearance. Freda has a cameo appearance in Dumb and Dumber, but that movie is actually not considered canon in this movie, because since the Farrelly brothers and Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels didn't have anything to do with that one, it's not really considered canon. I just reviewed it the other day as part of the series, because when I do a series, I like doing all of them. Plus, I do enjoy Dumb and Dumber more than most people do. But yeah, Freda Felcher is in here. She is played by Kathleen Kennedy, and she does a really, really good job. Jennifer Lawrence was supposed to play her, a younger version, but I think she ended up not being in it, which I was disappointed in. I was really hoping that she would be in it when I saw it, but because I'd heard she was going to be, but that's okay. I mean, it happens. Yeah, and Bill Murray has an appearance in here too, and I thought it was really cool. The guy that played the little boy from the first one, the blind boy, he came back for it too. And they kind of did a recycling joke of him, Jim Carrey doing something really jacked up with the bird and stuff. I thought that with his birds and stuff again. And I didn't think it was really as funny, but it wasn't as messed up as it's one in the first one. Like, that joke was one of the ones in the first one that was a little jacked up, but I still thought it was funny when he gave the blind kid a dead bird. But I think all in all, Dumb and Dumber 2 is a good movie. It's not an extremely great one. It's not a terrible one either. It's not on the level of as hilarious as the first movie is. Like, the first one has so many memorable jokes and moments. This one doesn't have quite as many. And the character of that's supposed to be Harry's daughter, she's a really, really likable character, and the actress that plays her does a very, very good job. She's really funny. So, I mean, that was kind of cool, and the ending does kind of tie some stuff up from the beginning of the movie, so I thought that was kind of cool too, like how things kind of came full circle in this movie. So, but yeah, so I'd say I'd give Dumb and Dumber 2 8 out of 10. I didn't like it quite as much as the first one. But it's still a fun sequel and a decent movie. But let me know in the comments what you think of Dumb and Dumber 2. I know most people didn't like it, but I went in there not expecting it to be as good as the first. I actually expected to probably be disappointed with it, but I ended up really enjoying it and everything. But let me know in the comments what you think of this movie, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and have a good day, everybody.